Hello everybody, this is Rebecca Jane from yogawithrebeccajane.com. Welcome to this 30-minute practice. I do teach live classes, so if interested, please go to my website and you can sign up for my 30-minute classes. So this week, it's all about the magic of play. Today's class is Playful Balances. Very unusual class from what I've taught. Some of it we've done before, but we're going to be using a block or blocks. And I'll explain why. If you have bigger feet or bigger foot, you might want 2 blocks or 1 might be just enough. I'll show you in a moment, but what we'll be doing is practicing some standing balances. Let me just, and using a block to stand on to kind of create a little bit more of a kind of an awareness than you would if you're just on the floor. There's options of not using the block if you find you're too unsteady. Just put it to the side. You do the same as what we're doing on the block. You can always use a wall or bring a chair over during that section and use that to help. So there's all these different options just for safety reasons, but also one side might be weaker than the other, or we have something going on one leg or one foot. So just be extra careful. This is not a very difficult class if you've been practicing with me for a while, but it is very much an eye-opening class. I find that it's because I practiced it the night before, but also did a class earlier. I'm feeling muscles. I haven't felt in a while, because when you balance and you're really concentrating on balance for a period of time, you're using muscles that are not something we use on a regular basis. Okay? So we're going to start on our backs, and the reason why we're starting on our backs, we're going to do some Anna Forrest abs. Anna Forrest always believed, and does still believe, that in order to do the rest of our class, we have to start off with warming up those abdominals. So we'll do that, but we'll start on our backs lying down. Obviously, you're lying down on your backs. Okay, come on, lie down. Oh, geez. And when you get on your back, feel free to stretch. Say, wake up. Open up those arms. Get that body nice and long and stretched out. And then hug your knees into your chest. Do some rocks from side to side. A little forward and backwards. And then take your hands on the knees and bring your big toes together. Open the knees wide. And then circle around to the left. Some hip circles. Getting into those hip joints. And then let's reverse those circles. I really enjoyed this class. Probably because it's very different. And it also gets you to play. That's what it's all about. And then bring your knees back in, and then come into Happy Baby. Let's start with a Happy Baby. Draw the knees down as you push your hands into the feet. Knees are outside your shoulders, not inside, not between those arms, but outside. So start to feel this playfulness that children experience intuitively.
we have to kind of recreate it often. Not all the time, but sometimes. And then let's re-hug your knees into your chest and then place the feet on the ground. We're going to do an anaphorous elbow to knee, starting with the feet on the ground, and then you have an option of picking them up and doing it with a little bit of a more challenging version. Bring your hands behind your head, angle the elbows in towards each other. Take an inhale, lift your head and shoulders off the ground, peeking towards your navel. As you hold the breath, tailbone lifts, and keep the tailbone lifted. And then as you exhale, lift your knee, left knee up just in line with your hip, and twist your elbows on a diagonal towards the left corner of the ceiling. And then lower the left foot down, inhale, and then exhale, lower tailbone, and come back to center with those elbows. Holding the breath, lift tailbone, squeeze your bottom muscles. Exhale, right knee lifts just as high as just in line with your hips, and then twist your elbows on a diagonal to the right corner of the ceiling. So you're not bringing the knee to the elbow. No. And then lower right foot down. That ends up, you lose the contraction of those transverse abdominis muscles. Now you have an option of keeping the feet down or bringing the feet to up to a 90 degree. Lower your head down, everybody. Press your lower back into the ground. Take an inhale. Head and shoulders lift. And then hold the breath, lift tailbone, and then exhale, twist elbows towards your left knee and just take your right leg. Left knee stays where it is, right leg comes to a diagonal. And then inhale back to center, lower tailbone down, come to the upper part of the shoulders. Head stays up. Holding the breath, lift tailbone. As you exhale, twist elbows towards the right corner of the ceiling. Keep your right knee where it is, just left leg stretches. Push into those ball mounts of those feet, and then inhale, come back to center, lower tailbone down. We're going to do one more set. Holding the breath, lift tailbone. Exhale, twist elbows towards the left corner of the ceiling, right leg stretches, push through the ball mounts, keep tailbone lifted, and then inhale back to center. One more side, holding the breath, lift tailbone. Exhale, elbows twisting towards the right corner of the ceiling, left leg stretches, right foot stretches, and then inhale, lower tailbone, come back to center, hug knees into your chest. Very subtle. I actually always feel this around this is an oblique as well as a transverse abdominis workout. Place the feet to the ground, bring the soles of the feet together. Take your hands either on your hips or maybe come into cactus shape arms if you'd like. Just take 3 deep breaths here. Inhaling, smiling. This is playfulness. I'm definitely a playful nut. I love to laugh. I love to play. I am serious for sure when I need to be. One more deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, hug your knees into your chest and let's roll up onto all fours. Once you're on all fours, any wrist issues, come onto forearms. You can do cats and cows on that. I'm going to do my forearms cats and cows, so if you want to follow me, even if your wrists are fine. I just feel like doing something a little bit different. Cat and cow. It just changes the it's still the cat and cow, but obviously you're a little bit lower to the ground, so you're working your muscles differently. So a few little cats and cows here just to keep warming up the spine. And the reason why I'm mentioning also the wrists, because sometimes people do have wrist issues and they don't either talk about it and they don't know alternative things, because downward facing dogs require a lot of wrists. So you might have to do things on forearms. We're gonna come back to all four. If you have any wrist issues, you stay on your forearms here. Take your right leg, reach it back behind you. we're going to do our first balance. Draw the tummy muscles in and up, left arm reaches. Opposite arm, opposite leg, spin that left palm to the right. Even this is like, oh, this is still not easy for me. Bring your right leg back. And let's do the other side. Left leg reaches back, right arm forward. So if you're on your forearms, obviously, just it's the leg reaching back, but you're still getting something. And then lower the right hand down, lower the knee down, sit onto your heels and just take a moment here. Closing the eyes, breathing in, and breathing out. And then coming up to all fours, either on forearms or coming into downward dog with the arms straight. Breathing in and breathing out. And the important thing about the downward facing dog, so that no one dumps too much on the wrists in downward facing dog, I suggest you bend the knees. You take your tailbone, lift it higher as if there's a string attached to your tailbone. And you press your chest towards your thighs. And all of a sudden the wrists don't feel it as much. And then gently walk your feet to the center of the mat. Roll yourself up vertebra by vertebra until finally you're standing tall. So we're going to turn to the long end of the mat, either side, because we're only on one for the whole time. Open your feet. Start off with your feet wider than your hips, but not too wide yet, you'll see. So we're going to start with, we're going to find something to gaze at. So we call this a drishti gaze, where your eyes are focused on one thing, but it's a soft gaze. And that will help you with your balancing. The next few, we're going to be doing some balances. We'll be in this, we'll be using the blocks in a moment. So this is the balancing sequence. And we just start with basic balances, just by just rocking from side to side. We're doing side to side balances just to begin. So the knees, there's a softness to them, especially when it comes to the standing leg. I just want you to rock. Hands, arms can do what they want. I like to kind of pretend I'm a little bird or a big bird, not a little one. I could do this all day. This is, you're like, oh, no problem with this. Now coming back to center, just take a moment. We're gonna, so that we have a chance to just start to feel the changes in our bodies. And then open the legs wider. You decide the width, but definitely wider than what we just did. And then let's take the right leg, lift it, but hold it. Take your time here. I don't want you to swing. This is about balance. And then left leg lifts. First set down the foot and then pick the other leg up. Set down the foot and then pick up. This is the most important thing, is that you're swinging and using momentum. Yeah, you're balancing, but you're not there fully. And that's what we want. So lift and lower. Okay, you're like, So you're going to start to feel that we're working the outer hips, the abductor muscles, the inner, the adductor. All the muscles in our abs, and then come back to the center. Walk your feet hip distance. Now we're going to do a forward and backwards. Bring your right foot back, left foot forward. If you feel like you want to just go to the long end of the mat, you could do that. So you're in a warrior warrior one stance. Back leg, there's a foot is slightly turned out, hip distance apart. And we're going to start with just rocking forward and backwards. So the left leg is the front leg. And just rock. Get your bearings. Get a sense of what it's like to be a little bit on one foot more than the other. And then we're going to bring the right leg back, lift it off the ground, lower that foot down,
left leg lifts. Lower that left foot down, right leg lifts. You might find one direction's harder than the other. Coming forward might be easier, and then the stepping back and lifting might be harder. And then come back to center. Take a pause, breathing in and breathing out. Now, right leg forward, left leg back, feet are hip distance. And we just start with rocking. Come rolling onto the toes, rolling onto the heels. Just going from forward and backward. And then let's add on. Let's lean on the front leg, left leg lifts back. Let's settle onto the left foot, the back foot, right front leg lifts up. So back and forth, lift up and pause, and then lower back down, settle the foot down first, and then lift the other leg up. So already, if you want to put fingers into your tummy muscles, they are working. Lots of activity. Brain as well. This is not just... Let's do one more set. You're thinking, okay, I can do this. Bring the feet back, hip distance. Take a moment here, breathing in. You need to wiggle around a little bit, wiggle around. Okay, now we're using our blocks. I'm taking two. Actually, I'll start with one. I realize that I feel more comfortable with two because my feet are a little bit bigger than the block. So I'm going to take two and put my right foot on the block, 2 blocks. You might have smaller feet, so one might be just enough. Once you're on that block, your right leg, you're going to bring your hands to your hips, bring your left foot up so it's even with your right foot, okay? And then you're going to tap your left foot down, just tap. And then lift your left foot up. So now that left foot's higher than your right foot. It's not coming out to the side, it's staying next to the leg. And then tap your left foot down. It's as if you're taking something on your hip and you're cinching it up. So lifting up and lowering. Tapping down that left foot. Lift it, come through the center and lift up and lower. So you should be feeling some stuff around those hips. And then bring that left foot down. Bring that right foot down. Take a moment. And then come to the other side. Left foot on the block. Hands on the hips. Right foot starts out next to your left foot. And then just tap that right foot down there. So there's a little bit of a dip there. You're dipping down with that right foot. And then you're lifting up with that. So that right hip lifts up. And then tap it down so you could feel the unevenness of your hip joints. But you're lifting up, you're coming through center, tapping down. Keep going. You can feel the work in these hips. This is one more time. Come back to center. When I say center, the right foot's even with the left foot. And then step off of those blocks. Do a few little shakes. And then come to the other side. Now we're going to take your right foot on the block. Come back to center again with that left foot. Now we're going to bring the left foot. We're going to swing it forward. When I say swing, lift. Lift left leg forward. And then back. This is play. Hands can stay on hips. You might say, I want to bring my arms out to the sides. They're not coming up too high yet. They will at some point. Lift forward with that left leg, then back. Start to notice what's happening to your ankle. Keep your gaze on that, whatever you're watching or whatever you're looking at. And then bring the left foot next to your right and then lower down. Come to the other side. So start to feel the ankle joints, the outer hips, the inner hips. inner thighs, and then come back to the left foot and place the left foot on, hands on the hips, right leg starts next to the left foot, and then just bring your right foot forward and then bring it back. No swinging here. I want this to be controlled. Very different muscle groups needed when you slow things down. And we're also working our glute muscles. There's lots of things happening here. You'd be so surprised at what we're doing here. Come back to center, lower the right foot down. Come back to the other side. Okay, right foot on the block. So we're going to take it a little bit, things are going to get a little bit more challenging. If you find the block isn't working for you, take it away. Now, start off with left foot next to your right. Then pick your left knee up, maybe give it a hug. And then bring your left foot back. Grab hold of that left foot, quad stretch. Left knee, hug it in. Left leg back. Bring the left foot next to your right. Step down. So you can start to feel what's happening here. We're building up, building from very basic to more complex. Left foot on the block. Now where right foot starts up next to your left foot, hug that right knee into your chest. Bring it back behind you, grab hold of that right foot. Right knee, hug it in. And then bring that right foot next to bring it back. I think I just did 2 on the other side, one side. So we'll do it 2 on this side. I'm trying to, if we did extra, we did extra. Come off of the block. Let's come to the other side. Do a few little figure eights, loosen up those hips, loosen up those ankles. Final one. Right foot on the block. You have an option. Either to lift your left leg really high in front of you. Let's do the first one like that. And then bring it back behind you, arms sweep out to the sides, or hands on the hips, as if you're a bird in flight. One more time, you could keep that left leg straight without touching, or you can grab hold of bind your left toes. And then reach back. So you might find, and then let's lower the left foot down. We should have paused there, but that's okay. Okay, one more side. Left foot on the block. Right foot next to your left. Right foot reaches forward in front of you as high as what's comfortable. And then bring that right leg back, arms like wings, soaring through the air. And then bring your right leg forward. Either do what you just did or bind that big toe. And then reach it back behind you. So you can see how the blocks add a little extra. Bring that right foot next to your left. Come off of the blocks. Move the blocks away. Stand for a moment. Close the eyes. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. If you want to do some figure eights, do some figure eights. Loosen up those hips. Open the legs wide. Come on all the way down into a forward bend. Lift up halfway. Come onto those fingertips. Wrists are under shoulders. Come up halfway, and then from here, release your head down. Bend your right knee. Keep your left leg straight, and take hold of your right ankle with your left hand. Pull your forehead in towards that right leg so you can stretch out that left inner thigh. And also you'll feel it in your
glute muscles as well. Breathing in, outer hips and the right leg. Lots of muscular activity. And then bring your hands back to center and left knee bends. Right hand on your left ankle or calf, and then bring your head towards your left leg. Breathing in and breathing out. And then walk your hands back to center, come up halfway, fingertips on the ground. Heel toe those feet so they're a little bit wider than hip distance. Take your arms behind your legs or wrap them around the backs of those legs. Take a deep breath in. You should feel this all the way up because lots of muscles in those outer hips really have been working. So and the hamstrings, obviously. Finish that stretch and then come onto your bottoms, facing the front of the mat, easing yourself onto your backs. Stretch through the arms, stretch through the legs. Hug your knees into your chest. Let the knees drop to the left, arms out to the sides. Turning gaze to the right. I'm going to try and bring these block, we won't do the exact sequence again in that maybe order, but we will do hug your knees into your chest. At some point, be nice to kind of bring some of those block balances in periodically into the classes. Bring your knees over to the right, turn and gaze to the left. So I can also feel the middle back from doing those balances, lower back. And then bring your knees back up. Just straighten your legs, reach them towards the ceiling, slide your hands behind the thighs, the calves. Maybe you can bind those big toes and just gently draw those feet towards your forehead. You could bend those knees if you need to. Only lifting off the lower back, off the ground. This is not a plow, so that we can stretch out that lower back. Breathing in. We did a lot of that lower back, had to work very hard. And then hug your knees into your chest again. And then prepare for Shavasana. If you would like, this is probably a nice opportunity to take your blocks and place them underneath your thighs in your Shavasana to give your lower back a nice stretch out. And then palms are facing upwards, shoulders are relaxed, chin is slightly tucked. Take a deep breath in through the nose and go sigh out of the mouth. So stay where you are for another few minutes as I come up to seal the practice. So yes, playful balances. Children, as I said earlier, intuitively do these types of things.
They might not be standing on blocks, but they're standing on, you know, whatever apparatus they could find, right? A brick, a curb. They do it just for fun, without it being part of a class. So go out and play a little bit. Stand on a curb. Walk on a curb. Start balance. Get on a rock. Play. And as I bring my hands in front of my heart to seal this practice, thank you so much. If you enjoy these classes, thumbs up, subscribe. Live classes, go to my website, yogawithrebeccajane.com. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.